Okay, we have this resume for review today, and we'll share some thoughts on how this could be improved as well. But if you look at this resume of Lisa, there are some interesting things that you'll see here. The first part is in this resume, you'll find that the name and the city is mentioned here, some email and contact information here. So this is good. Um, Here there's a career objective. Now you could just make it an executive summary instead of calling it a career objective. And here you could also maybe have some bullet points here, summarizing, how many years of experience in what areas, because a lot of this part aspire to use, this is an objective. You don't need to have this objective over here, and you could have done away with it. I think the other part is if you see skills here, which is very good, there's a skills section. Now here, if you see call monitoring, okay, quality analysis, so there's some skills mentioned here. Hands-on experience on popular CRMs is also here, recruitment and employee engagement. So some skills I mentioned. I mean, I think this could have been made little concise in maybe in this part section, and you could have just had more here so that you could have used the space. So I think that's what I would advise. Coming to the next part, which is the latter half of the CV, which is essentially the experience part. And in this experience, you will find, there's some organization, designation of senior management, strategic partnerships, reporting to co-founder. So this is nice. Now, you don't need to put down this reporting to co-founder. This could have been partnerships. Now, if this partnerships here, it will be important to understand what is the where are we looking at in terms of at the top. So at the top, if you see here, this profile is talking all about sales and business development. And here at the bottom, you're finding partnerships. Now, question is, there's a lot of difference between sales and partnerships. So is this the same role that this person's applying for, wants to highlight? So that's extremely important here. And at the same time, if you see here in the professional experience, you will find some some detail around what this person's doing. So it's now this part is all about sales. Now again, it depends on how you want to position this profile. There is sales here, there is RFPs, RFIs, so all of that is here. Now a lot of this again, lead, mentor and train. Now question is this a skill or is an activity? Is very important. Seek out and source new clients. So develop and coordinate selling cycle, set and execute. These are again a lot of these are, and there is no evidence of what this person's done here. So any evidence in terms of numbers should have been here. That would have really helped in this part of the section. There's also very little numbers being used, and more importantly, not much of information around what this person has achieved. So accomplishments are missing. Any achievements are also missing. It's only a set of activities being mentioned here. So this could have been improved for sure. Now, if you come down, you'll also find that this has been very long. It's a very long kind of a profile here. 5, 6 bullet points are good enough, and this person could have brought the second part of the CV to the to page 1, because then it would have become very easy to understand what this person's done in the last couple of jobs. Again, here too many bullet points, and many of these seem to be all activities. No achievements, no accomplishment, and there's no mention of skills in most of the time. So now, yes, there is skills here. So strategic planning is a skill, right? So that is very good. Managing a team is also a skill. Analyzing revenue potentials, well, that's also a skill. So there's some skills mentioned, but a lot of them are activities here. So you have to become very careful of which is a skill and which is an activity. And then if you come down, there's a lot being mentioned here as well. Again, very long, lot of detail here, which is too long. That could have been cut short. Again, sales role here, and this time it's inside sales. So, that was, I think so, field sales. We didn't come to know it was field sales or not. So that should have been ideally mentioned very clearly. And then as you come down, you will find that there is more detail being mentioned here as well. Again, sales profile. And a lot of these, if you'll see, are repetitive here. So, a lot of this part that you see here is all being repeated here. Many of these are very, very similar activities. So it's important that focus should be on skills, should be on numbers, targets, achieved, accomplishments, achievements, all of that. And similarly, if you come down, you will also, again, very similar format. So this person's actually used the similar format and even the similar activities also. And now this becomes very boring, right, for a recruiter, and the recruiter won't be able to figure out what is it that this person wants to highlight. So not much of highlighting happening here. The center manager role here, if you see here, there is a center manager role here, and then again, now also if you see, you will find a center manager role being used. So basically, one needs to kind of figure out what do you want to highlight, and how do you kind of highlight the right kind of skill sets. Now coming down to this, you will find again a lot of mention of the academics. I mean, it's okay. I mean, here this person's quite experienced. So up to this person whether they want to mention, for example, matriculation or not. If you want, you can mention it here. It is an MBA mentioned here. There's a BTech here. So this definitely gives us, good view of what is this person's skill sets. Now coming to the last part of the profile, you will find here that there's a lot of detail here on extracurricular, which is nice. I mean, some extracurricular activities are mentioned here. Just make sure that this should be relevant to what you're applying, or this helps you. Hobbies are here. Does this really help? For this profile, I don't know how these hobbies will help. And English and languages are here. So this is good if you're applying for a role which requires multiple languages. So these are some of the things you can keep in mind when you are, reviewing or creating your profile. And if you need more details about your profile, you can always get in touch with us, or you could use a tool which is available at www.paintminds.com, and you could create and get your own report on your CV and then improve your CV. Look forward to more such reviews in the future. Thank you so much.